So Kayla Mallec is a 20-year-old influencer, and she is at the heart of all this. She is a hero. She is a survivor. She is giving a voice to a lot of young women that are in DV situations, and they saw Kayla's example and realized that they were in their relationship, and she helped a lot of young women. So what happened is that Kayla and Evan, they're both 20 years old. They dated for 9 months. The relationship was horrific. It was full of turmoil, full of DV, full of not only physical but mental abuse as well. When she realized what situation she was in, that she wasn't going to be able to get out of it alive, then she broke up with him. She got away from him. On April 10th, she pressed charges. He was arrested. However, he was bailed out by his sister, I believe, and court is May 7th. Now, I want you to go to her YT channel. She has 2 videos there, and she tells the whole story on those videos. Now, if you go to her account here on TikTok, she has posted videos, pictures. She's been very vulnerable. She's very open about everything. And, you know, the videos and the pictures of the damage that he left on her face will stay with you. So I am kind of giving you a trigger warning there. But I think you should stop by. And that vulnerability is what's, you know, helping a lot of young women realize that they're in similar situations. But the videos on the Y2 channel do give the full story. So once she did that, she thought everything was, you know, okay. She's trying to go through everything and deal with everything. But her troubles didn't end. One of her closest friends gave Evan her current home address, the address where she was living in, and that's horrific. Now, she did leave the house, and I'm so mad at whoever did that. She's not naming any names yet, but I'm thinking after court she's going to speak out a lot more about everything. Now, after she broke up with Evan, Evan went on to make friends with some guy that, you know, grew up in the same neighborhood as he did, named Zach. And Zach was friends with him. He didn't really know what had happened with Kayla. You know, he was just Evan's friend. And this guy, Evan, did tell Zach, like, don't go on Reddit, don't Google, like, don't believe everything you see. And he was like, okay. Now, this is where James Charles comes in. So James Charles was really close friends with Kayla. You know, so James knew of all this. Kayla had told him what had happened. So behind her back, James started talking to Evan, and you know, Zach saw a lot of this. He saw a lot of the like inappropriate pictures, videos, just a lot of stuff like that. And James actually flew Evan out to LA for the weekend. You know, everything happened. And to sleep with your friends ex-abusive boyfriend is wild work. James was trying to coach him on how to deal with the situation because he said I had been through similar things. We all know a lot of the inappropriate things James had done. He has been canceled I don't know how many times. What caught my attention is that James said, you know, he didn't know, like, or the things that had been said about him were false, right? Does that mean that he believes what Kayla is saying isn't true? Like, does he believe that Evan is innocent in all this? That really caught my attention. And there is talk, you know, because Zach did go on this podcast, you know, he told the whole information, go watch it on YT, but he did go on to say that it seems like he was paid for that weekend that he went away with him. And James was planning on taking him to Coachella. If it wasn't for Kayla speaking out around that time, he would have taken him to Coachella. Like, this is insane. So Zach finally, you know, went on Reddit, put in Evan's name, read everything, and he realized everything what was going on. That's when he decided to go on that podcast and speak out and stand for Kayla and support Kayla, what, you know, she's been going through. And I'm glad he called out James Charles. Now, James Charles hasn't really spoken out. He's just kind of done some dumb videos here and there, but he hasn't really spoken out. He hasn't given a Kayla an apology, and he's even trying to silence Zach because Zach works in the modeling industry, and they've already reached out to the company that he, you know, is representing. On Friday, James Charles's people reached out to the company that represents Zach, and they're trying to silence him. They try to put a stop to the YT video. So that just shows that, you know, James is trying to fix things somehow, but he's still getting canceled. We still have to unfollow him. He's done so many horrible things. Not only did he sleep with his friend's ex's abusive, you know, boyfriend, but he's also known to reach out to minors. That's another thing that I can't believe people supported him after that. So that's the whole thing. Kayla is a hero. Kayla is so strong for speaking out. a lot of her followers are younger women, young women, and they're learning from her example, and they're getting out of their abusive relationships. And she's showing women that we can be strong, and we can be stronger than the men that abuse us. So what do you guys think? Go watch those YT channels and let's talk about it in the comments.